Scott Studio.
Hello everyone, George here again from Scott Studio. Thanks for joining me here on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed below, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you get updates about when we are publishing new tips about recording. Today I want to talk about space. Space where you set up your ability to record is very important. Space can either help you or it could kill you. And I'm going to explain why here in a moment. Things to consider when you're looking at a space to set up your home recording studio. One, what are you going to be recording? Are you going to be recording vocals or just instrumentation? If you're going to be recording vocals, there are a lot of things you have to consider. One, is that space going to be quiet at some point during the day? Whether it's in the garage, whether it's an interior bedroom, whether it's the den, wherever you're looking at, is it going to be quiet at all at some point during the day? You need a time where it's going to be quiet because vocal recording requires a quiet atmosphere around you. You don't want to record your vocals and there are people talking in the background, there's someone mowing the lawn outside, the phone is ringing, all those types of things. They make your vocal recording sound unprofessional, and I know you don't want that. So you got to look at where's a space going to be where you're going to be able to quietly record vocals. Or if it's not a quiet space, will there be a time during the day where it will be quiet in that space so that you can do vocal recording. Some other things to consider. If you're going to be playing instruments, how big are your instruments? Are they, a little MIDI keyboard of, 28 keys essentially, or, some funky number like that? Is it just a guitar? Or are you going to have keyboards that have 88 keys? Are you going to have a drum set? Are you recording yourself or a group? So all those things you have to consider. If it's just you and you're doing, some guitar stuff, or guitar licks, just some light strumming and what have you that you're recording, then you don't need a big space. A corner in a room may be sufficient for you to set up and to do well in. If you're looking at recording more than yourself, a small group or what have you, then you may be looking at trying to set up a whole room for that because you don't want people cramped all inside your space. You don't want people uncomfortable when they're recording. You don't want to be uncomfortable when you're recording. So those are some things to consider as well. Some other things to look at. You need a space where you're able to work effectively. A space where you're able to create, where you're not able to be easily distracted or disturbed. A place where you feel comfortable. That could be anywhere in your home. It could, or, maybe you have a refurbished garage, or maybe you don't. Maybe you just have a space in the garage that you want to use. But you want to consider all of those things. You also want to consider, past vocals, past your instruments. Is that space going to be able for you to set up your computer? And, the things that you got to run into the computer. Do you have power sources? Do you have the ability to run cords and wires for your studio? All of those things you have to consider. So I don't want to block you into one specific room that's the best because everyone's space is different. But I do want to tell you that you want to consider those things when you're looking at a space to record. There are some kits, some soundproofing kits that you can get to assist you if it's not the quietest space in the house. But like I said, most people, especially starting out, we're not even thinking about buying soundproofing kits. We may be just, saving our money to buy the first thing that we need for home recording. So every situation is different. But if you have the ability to buy soundproofing kits, great. That's great for you. Just make sure you put it in the spaces where a lot of your sound is absorbed and that is effective. But if you're not able to do that, or you're in a space that you can't do that, You want to consider those things, whether it's going to be quiet, are you going to be distracted, are you doing vocals, all those types of things, because they determine whether your space that you picked is going to be efficient. So I hope those tips are helpful to you. Like I said, comment below, like and subscribe here on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.
Scott Studio.